Speaking of YouTube,
you said that's so British.
speaking of YouTube, I've been watching a few more YouTube shorts recently. Even though I know every time I go on like a YouTube shorts binge, it's like bad for my health. You know, it's to me watching YouTube shorts or watching TikToks is the equivalent of eating a McDonald's or eating fast food, right? Like I know I shouldn't do it, but sometimes just lying in bed and you just scroll through and you're like,
you just want that quick meal.
And you're like, fuck, 30 minutes have passed and I've like consumed nothing. So like I've fallen down into like I fell down into this hole of like, you know, life advice YouTube or like life hack YouTube shorts.
Oh no.
I've been there, yeah.
And it's just like remember before where we went through that life hack phase of like BuzzFeed videos where like the hack isn't actually a hack?
Yeah.
So I thought that died out, but apparently that just went to fucking TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? Because like I remember I saw like a few like career hacks of things you can do in like to help you increase your chances of getting a job interview, right? And there was this
I think I saw that.
and there's this TikTok of like that. This is how it goes. The job interviewer offers you a glass of water.
I saw the same thing yesterday.
Did you as well?
What is this?
The black guy, right?
Yeah, the black guy. Yeah, so the job interviewer offers you a glass of water and then you take the water. And that's the hack. Because the hack is if you take the glass of water when it's offered to you, they ask you a difficult question and you just go, well, you see, the thing is, and the hack was because you have a glass of water, it gives you more time to think about the answer. And that was the hack. And I was just like losing my mind that you could call this career advice or a fucking life hack.
300,000 likes, and I'm like, who?
This feels like the only time I ever see people take a sip of water right before answering the question is it like the criminal trials.
Yeah.
Like when Mark Zuckerberg was being questioned by the Senate. Every single question it would be asked to go.
Yeah, he was using a life hack, dude. He was thinking about those answers, right?
But I'm saying you don't want to look like a criminal when I ask you a question. You don't want to be going.
I'm just like. I feel like a more like logical thing would be like, can I just take a bit of time to think about this answer?
Yeah.
So
No, because you got to seem confident.
I'd be like, that is a fantastic question.
Yeah.
Think of the way to appropriately answer that.
No, you. What if you combine it, right? Yeah. You got to combine it with the water. That's a fantastic.
What if the water doesn't give you enough time? Are you just like downing an entire fucking jug of water? You're sitting there for like 10 minutes just going.
They're like, gone.
What?
They're like, gone. What is your?
Can I get some more water, please?
They're like, gone. Your favorite food is? Oh shit.
Well, what if you know you're just like you get offered the water, right, and you're just like really thirsty, and then you get to that really difficult question, you're just like, shit. Like, what do I do now? The TikTok never told me.
Sir, you've gone through 3 liters of water during this interview. Are you feeling okay?
I want to say like 99% of life hacks or some shit I just immediately forget and never remember and will never ever practically use.
Yeah. I've seen so many of them.
Especially when it comes to like fucking
survival.
These kinds of like hacks or advice you see on TikToks. Like, I don't know if we've ever talked about this on a podcast. I think we've only talked about it in private, but like the fucking Shaq financial advice, which is an entire genre, which is an entire genre of video on TikTok and YouTube Shorts now, where it's just like Shaq motivational like life advice, and half of it is just like taking your paycheck and apparently just ripping it in half.
So Shaq, what's the difference between being rich and being wealthy? And it's like, when you're rich, you do this. But the wealthy do this. 1 million likes on YouTube
like,
Shorts.
thank you, Shaq. I am no longer poor now.
Shaq's gets rid of poverty.
Shaq is a very nice guy.
He is a very nice guy.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure.
But the financial advice, the problem is with a lot of these financial advices on like TikTok and YouTube, and again, I think Shaq is somewhat guilty of this. It assumes you're even making enough money to save. Like most people aren't able to save money because like we're fucked right now.
Yeah.
Like most people spend all their paycheck. That's how it is. How do you then go to them and be like, you're just not saving enough. You're just not saving enough. That rent, maybe you can get rid of it.
Yeah. Who's living on minimum wage and being like, oh, I didn't do this?
Are there people who spend irresponsibly? Hell yeah, there are.
Yeah.
Is that the reason why everyone isn't rich? No.
And
no.
It was just so weird falling into this hole of just like, you know, you see these TikTok with like made up scenarios where the perfect life hack for that scenario will pop up.
It's always the same. It's one guy is in this part of the frame, and he's like, so you want this, and then another guy with the other frame, probably with glasses or something. No, that's not how you do it. It's literally always like that, and with the worst acting and the worst script, and then it's like 20 million views, and I'm like, I'm quitting my job. I'm terrible at my job.
And it's just like an entire fucking genre that just takes place in the Darman universe. You know, it's just like the extended Darman universe where, you know, everything just works out because I drank water in my fucking job interview. Like
the DCU. The Darman cinematic universe. Oh my, the one that also just like that I've been getting a lot recently off YouTube Shorts is the ones where they take like, you know, those like 5-minute crafts or like bullshit like life hacks, and then there's always some like dude who's like, I'm gonna find out if this is actually legitimate or not, and then they do it, and then they try it themselves and they're like, okay, it was legitimate. Like for more.
Wait, that's a thing?
That's a thing.
Okay.
I've seen so many of those, like so many times where it's like, oh, if you get a black marker and you draw it on your hand and then you take a picture of it on flash, then it apparently zaps you, some shit like that. And it's always some guy being like, no, it's not. Fact or cap. All right, let's try it. Let's try and figure it out.
My new favorite shorts or TikTok category is the TikToks that need way more explanation as to what's going on, but the person doing the video does not offer any explanation as to why they're doing the thing they're doing.
Like what?
There was one time I watched this TikTok, and it was a guy, he was like, so here's how I made a case to carry my iPad farm. And then he makes the case, and me and all the other comments were like, why do you have an iPad farm? Like,
I think I've seen that one.
Is that with the long case?
Yeah. He made this video just explaining how he made a case for his iPad farm. And I was like, the whole time, I'm like, why did you have an iPad farm?
No. He makes this iPad farm to test out if he could make enough passive income.
That's it. Yeah,
to justify making an iPad farm. And like me, like there are so many layers to this TikTok that I just want answers to.
Yeah, I'm like, question, how are you making this money, first of all?
Yeah, like what passive income revenue are you doing?
What is this app you're using?
Yeah, like
I know there's some people who run like Spotify farms. They're like have like tons and tons of phones and just play the same song like on loop.
Oh wow!
And then they like get revenue from it.
Oh shit!
But obviously, like you use a lot of electricity, so it's kind of I know there's some things like that, but yeah, I mean, it's again, there's so many of these where they're like, we're gonna do this thing, or they're like, or you felt like you just came into like the 90th episode of a show, and you're like, what? What is happening? And the people making the videos don't think that like anyone might need context or something.
Yeah.
Like just one line.
No, because like I know exactly what you mean now. Because they'll always start off the video with just like, last time I made like a dildo that could fly or something like that, and you guys have been asking me to make this, so I'm going to make it. I'm just like, what? What
I got so many comments saying that you should make it hover.
I'm like, what have I missed in the fucking lore of this? You know, like how far back do I go? And the thing is, like, it's impossible to like try to like triangulate this when you click on their channel or something, right? Because it's just like, it's not always in chronological order either. I don't know. Yeah, YouTube Shorts is like, there's so many different like holes you can slip down into YouTube Shorts and fucking TikTok.
And it's like insane as well because like, especially with the YouTube Shorts, because I don't really use TikTok, but like with YouTube Shorts, it knows exactly what to recommend you next because it's like, oh, you spent 1 extra second on this one fucking Shaq motivational TikTok. That must mean you want 20 more.
Yeah, that's why like sometimes I'm like, if I watch a video that's shit for too long, I'm like, fuck. Now the algorithm thinks I like this video. And like the next 10 videos will be something to do with that. I'm like, fuck.
I wish there was some way to just tell YouTube I didn't like the video that they sent me. But unfortunately, they removed the dislike.
Yeah, I know.
So, there's a lot of TikToks or YouTube Shorts that I watch, and I'm like, I hated this video. I want to let them know I hated it without being an asshole. But I can't now. So I just have to, and I've already given them my watch time. So for all YouTube knows, that was the best experience of my life.
The one that made me fall down, the rabbit hole for YouTube Shorts for me is, I saw this one YouTube short of the founder of 2chan. Because he has like a live streaming thing. Yeah. And he like, he's called Hiroyuki, but like he's very, because he's the creator of 2chan.
Yeah.
He's a bit based in his opinions.
Okay. Gamer?
Like very controversial opinions, right?
Okay.
Like
he's based in a negative term.
Yeah, based in a negative term. And I just watched one because I couldn't fucking believe the answer. And now my YouTube Shorts are just this Japanese dude saying a lot of racist and controversial shit. And I was like, I don't I didn't watch this because I liked it. I watched it because I was trying to process what the fuck this guy was talking
That's
about.
been a lot of criticism of YouTube, Facebook, and all these platforms.
Exactly.
They push you to the more fringes of the content, and yeah, I mean that's one of the parts that's not so good.
Yeah.
I think one of the weirdest ones one of the weirdest genres I've seen that's popped up recently is we've gotten to the point where YouTube Shorts are now commentating on YouTubers.
Oh,
right?
yeah,
Where
yeah,
you'll be like, Ludwig just did this last week. You won't believe what he did. And I'm just like,
This is why Saikuno doesn't take sponsorships.
Yeah, right?
I was like, all right, cool, I guess. Like,
It's like Mr. Beast just sent chocolate bars to every influencer you know. It's just, you know,
it's like newsflash. Oh my
I don't know. It's just so weird.
It's so weird.
It's just so weird seeing all these like new genres and new types of content pop up on I guess like a new type of platform and everything like that.
Yeah.
But like
I don't understand it at all.
do you think YouTube Shorts gonna stick around? Do you think it's gonna get to a point where
I mean,
going to be
TikTok's
like-
stuck around, so
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
gonna stick around. It's, it's what it is. But at the end of the day, the long form content is still very valuable, and that's
Yes.
what makes the money.
Of course.
Yeah, until TikTok find a way to properly monetize that platform without paying their creators way less than what they deserve, then I think long form content will be king for now.
That's us.
That's us.
this.
That's
us.
literally
That's
literally
this show.
us.
That's
we,
this
we,
show.
we have zero bias whatsoever. There's absolutely
We
zero
don't
bias.
upload ridiculously long
Yeah.
videos to YouTube.
We only upload 6 hours of content a week.
But hey, that's just a theory. A trash theory.